The ghost in the deep, lingering fear. Imagine this, you're floating, suspended in the black abyss. The sun, a distant memory, a faint shimmer swallowed by miles of cold, crushing water above. Below you, but infinite darkness. You feel a tremor, not a ripple on the surface, but a deep, resonant thrumming through the very water itself. It's the kind of vibration that bypasses your ears and goes straight to your primal, lizard brain. Screaming predator. Now, picture something silently, effortlessly gliding towards you from that inky void. Something larger than a city bus. Its silhouette, barely discernible, a colossal shadow that moves. This isn't just an animal. It's the primordial fear of being utterly inconsequential, a mere morsel. The Megalodon, though long gone, left an imprint on the collective psyche of the ocean. Whale calves, born with an instinctual dread of wide-open spaces, a genetic memory of a world where a wrong turn meant instant obliteration. Their ancestors lived in a constant state of hypervigilance, knowing that at any moment, a gaping maw the size of a garage door could materialize out of nowhere. We might not see it, but the ocean remembers. Every deep-sea trench, every dark current, it whispers the name of Otodus Megalodon. It's not just an extinct shark, it's the boogeyman etched into the very DNA of the deep, a haunting echo of a time when the food chain had one undeniable apex. And sometimes, late at night, when the waves crash, I swear you can still hear the screams of a truly unfortunate baleen whale, the unhinged engineer, bone-crunching mechanics. Alright, buckle up, buttercups, because we're diving into the biomechanics of pure, unadulterated devastation. We're not just talking about teeth here, we're talking about an entire cranial skeletal complex engineered for maximum structural failure of large, fleshy objects. Think of a megalodon skull not as a head, but as a siege weapon. The jaw articulation, the sheer robustness of the cartilaginous cranium, it's all built to withstand the immense forces generated when you're attempting to bisect something the size of a small blimp. Imagine the stress on the jaw muscles, the tension on the ligaments, but nature, in its infinite, terrifying wisdom, designed a solution, a jaw that wasn't rigidly fused, but capable of subtle internal rotation and flexibility. This isn't just for opening wide. It's a dynamic system. As the outer teeth sink in, the inner rows would adjust, creating a continuous, shearing, pulverizing effect. It wasn't just biting a whale, it was simultaneously ripping, tearing, and crushing, like a biological trash compactor. And the teeth themselves, not just sharp points. Oh no, that would be too simple. These were serrated, triangular blades, designed for optimal tissue penetration and cutting through bone. Each tooth, a perfectly honed weapon, replaceable, endlessly spawning from the conveyor belt of terror inside its mouth. You break one? No problem. There's another, equally deadly, behind it, ready to step up to the plate. It's an evolutionary arms race where the Megalodon just kept adding more firepower, more armor, and a bigger bazooka. It's not just a shark, it's a self-replicating, whale-destroying machine. A perfect storm of biological engineering devoted to one glorious purpose: making enormous marine mammals disappear with extreme prejudice. The death of a king, the silence of the abyss. And so, we arrive at the grand, tragic finale. The very thing that made the Megalodon a terror is the same thing that sent it to its watery grave. It was too specialized, too powerful, too much. It became a living, breathing paradox. It evolved to be the perfect whale-eating machine, a biological terminator, but it forgot to diversify its portfolio. The climate changed, the currents shifted, and the very whales it so expertly hunted began to evolve into faster, colder water species. Suddenly, the menu was smaller, the hunt was harder, and this magnificent apex predator found itself on the wrong side of a rapidly cooling world. It's the ultimate evolutionary dead end. The monster you built to conquer the world is now too unwieldy to survive in it. Imagine this colossal being, once the undisputed lord of the oceans, slowly, painfully, finding less and less food. It wasn't a sudden catastrophe, it was a slow fade, the silence of the abyss claiming its king. The oceans breathed a collective sigh of relief as the terror of millions of years simply vanished. They left behind only their teeth, perfectly preserved little daggers scattered across the seabed, like morbid tombstones commemorating a forgotten reign of terror. So next time you see a fossilized megalodon tooth, don't think of a monster, think of a monument to a brilliant, horrifying, and ultimately doomed evolutionary experiment. Think of the perfect killer who was too perfect to survive. And be glad the oceans are just a little bit safer now. That's it for today. I've got more freaky evolution videos coming, so smash that subscribe button and stay weird.